right, Malpal, it is time for Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday.
The North Texas Honda dealers want to help you score some great deals on award-winning Hondas. Stop by your Helpful Honda dealer today or visit ntxhondadealers.com to learn more. Woo!
We love our good friends at North Texas Honda. What if
We do.
What if we took a Honda to go get a spicy honey butter chicken biscuit?
Oh my gosh, sponsorships galore. Let's
You
go.
love to see it.
You love to see it.
All right, Malpal, do we have any questions from the people?
We do, and I do want to start off with this one because you are currently wearing a Hawaiian shirt. So, when will there be DCTF Hawaiian shirts on the merch store? We do have merch out right now, so go check that out. I think is the link on our website?
TexasFootball.com/merch.
Yes. So go check that out. You got a lot of stuff. We ordered a cup with the Dave Campbell's logo on there.
Oh, the pint glass?
The pint glass, because
Nice.
we have a bunch of other pint glasses. We've got like one that says our last name, Michigan State one. So it just fits in really well with our other collection. But yeah, sweatshirts, shirts, anything you want. So yes, we need to do a Hawaiian shirt.
Dude,
DCTF
say less.
merch.
I don't have a DCTF Hawaiian shirt, and that feels like a massive hole in my resume.
You could just stick a logo on there.
That's
But it's not the
as
same.
fun. No,
It's not
we
the
are,
same.
and we've talked about it, and I promise, like, I'm making a promise to you, the people, right now, that we will get on that.
Yeah.
I can't guarantee the Hawaiian shirt portion of it. I will try my hardest on that. But what I can guarantee you is we talked about doing a shirt of the month, like releasing a T-shirt of the month, and we will get on that. I know we have some like kind of ready to go. I just don't think that we've had the time to put them out there yet. But we will.
Yeah.
I am gonna put it down on the to-do list that we will start doing a shirt of the month. Hopefully, one of those being a Hawaiian shirt because that would get me hyped.
Oh yeah, I like that idea.
Huge fan.
Okay, so when you say like shirt of the month, what else would we do?
Like a slogan, like doing something like that, like for instance,
Moai.
if you want to talk, yeah, exactly.
Okay, bet.
Moai, like something like that.
I love that.
And I don't know that one's probably like trademarked by like something like another bit we say all the time is like time has no meaning. So
Yeah,
like, that
that's a
would
good
be
one.
like
That's a good one.
something that's timely, and
Right.
they would all be bit shirts basically.
Right. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Maybe we'll just do one with your face on it.
Okay.
Everyone's favorite
Yeah.
Malpal.
Little lady. We're going on to the next question before we get into that topic. Question for the show. When y'all are showing a video, like the pics or the Whataburger Super Team interview, what are y'all doing in the studio? You want to start off?
I mean, that's a loaded question a little bit because, like, to be honest, we're most of the time just sitting here BSing.
Yeah.
There are times during the season in particular when we're running, like, really long videos or we have, like, 2 videos back to back. If we have if, like, both of our segments or 3 or 4 of the segments are like, most of the time we wouldn't do more than 2, but if 2, this is a long-winded way of saying, if there are like 2 segments that are both video and where basically the whole show is recorded, there's a lot of times where Tepper and I will sit here and like actually get work done.
Yeah.
But if it's a 6-minute interview, we're just talking.
Yeah.
Like,
Like we're about to schedule our pedicures.
yeah.
So that's what we talked about during this
We were
one for
trying
a
to figure out
specific
what time.
example. Yeah.
we can go get a pedicure this evening.
Before the Grizz game tonight.
Exactly. But there's a lot of times like to like get up and go to the bathroom if we have to, or Tepper will go make coffee or start heating up lunch or something. I don't know. It's always different, but most of the time it's just BSing.
We're just BSing in here. That's
Yeah.
what we do here, right?
I mean, we do that on the mic,
We
so I
do
can
that.
guarantee you that we're doing it off the mic as well.
Exactly. Let's go with roller coasters or water slides. I think I already know what your answer is going to be on this one.
Hands down, roller coasters.
Yep.
I'm not saying that I don't like water slides. I didn't for a long time. I do a lot more now. But I am a roller coaster fiend. Like, for anyone that doesn't know, that's what we used to do for family vacations, is we used to travel the U.S. and go to all the different Six Flags parks, because if you have, pro tip here if you don't know this, but if you have like a gold season pass from Six Flags, you can get into any park in the U.S. with that same pass.
That I didn't know. Any park in the U.S.? Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
And so there's 13 different Six Flags, one in Canada and one in Mexico. Haven't been to either of those, but I have been to 8 out of the 13. So that was like, I mean, we actually, the local newspaper did a story on our family about one of our, like, we did an extreme like roller coaster vacation. We went it was a road trip. We did 3,000 miles all the way up to Ohio to go to
That is so fun, though.
why Kings I gotta look this up. My parents are currently just cursing at the screen right now.
We
that I
spent
can't
all
remember
this money and you can't even remember.
Anyway, yeah, no, we stopped at parks like all the way along the thing, and so that's what we would do. So
That's
I mean,
fun.
you want to sit down, like we would always watch the Coaster War shows too.
Well,
huge roller coaster family.
And I think, too, it definitely has something to do with the time of year.
Mm-hmm.
Because, so I live in Arlington, and I've lived in Arlington my whole life. And, of
Mhm.
course, I live 10 minutes away from Six Flags and Hurricane Harbor.
Oh yeah.
So, in the summertime, I'm definitely going to Hurricane Harbor more
Absolutely.
often than Six Flags because you sit in a sweaty seat after somebody on the Texas Giant or the Titan.
Yeah.
That's pretty gross. And you're already sweating.
Yeah.
So it's like I would much rather be at Hurricane Harbor at that
Mhm.
point going down the toilet bowl or
Yeah.
something, you know? Or
I guess
that's my kind of take on it.
here is a thing about water parks that are a little bit underrated too, is the fact that if you bring up a great point, because if you're going to Six Flags, you are regardless waiting in line for a ride or you're just kind of standing there. At a water park, you can choose to wait in line to go on the water slides, but also if you just want to go be in the lazy river all afternoon, or you just want to go
Yes.
be in like the
wave pool.
thing,
Yeah.
like
That's a good point.
you can. You
Right.
don't have to. So like you can still do stuff without having to always be waiting in line. So I will give water parks like the nudge on that, but ultimately, roller coasters hands down.
Any time of year, other than that, I'm going roller coaster.
Yeah.
They're just so much more fun.
They are.
Right? I love it. All right. Daniel Sanchez, shout out. He is going to his first Stars game tonight.
Oh,
love
Team
the
Stars.
Absolutely. We clinched.
Yes,
Let's
we
go.
did.
Any advice you guys have for it? I've got one. When you sing the national anthem, you yell, top of your lungs, Stars, both times.
Mhm.
That is the best advice I can give anybody that's going to their first Stars game.
Yep,
because
absolutely.
it's such an experience. I've never experienced a team do that before.
No.
Like the crowd, you just feel like you're all a part of one
Mhm.
thing, you know, and it that sounds so sappy as a sports fan, but it's so true
Right.
because that's what you long for, you know, as a
Well,
fan.
And I think the other thing is too, like, this gets dicey, but I think that is a sacred tradition at a sporting event, and so most of the time everyone is either dead silent during it or they're singing the national anthem itself.
Right.
So the fact that everyone there buys into doing that, because it might be it could be seen as disrespectful to ruin. You could say the national
Right.
anthem.
No, I
but the fact that
completely agree.
everyone does it and they embrace that portion of it, I think is a really cool, like you said, a really cool thing.
You
And two,
feel-
you feel it, like you get those goosebumps, you know, and
Yeah.
everything. I think the only other thing that I could add to that is hockey. The opening to a hockey game is super, super cool. Like, it's basically a light show.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ruin it
Strobe
for
lights,
you.
basically.
Like, get there early. That's the one thing. Like, there's a lot of sporting events that I'm like, if we miss the first thing, as long as we're there
Baseball.
for, as long as we're there for tip, or as long as we're there for first kick or whatever, it's like, okay. But that is genuine. Like, you can compare it a lot to the NBA of how the intros and stuff really add to the experience. So don't miss the intros.
Right.
That's one you want to be there on time for. Like, on time as in you want to be there early for.
Yeah. And to answer his question, we've actually been to a Stars game together. We went to the Stars and the Kraken game
yeah.
a couple of months ago. I guess that was back in February. But we've kind of taken the Kraken in as our own.
Yeah.
One of our good friends went with us. She somehow became a huge Kraken fan overnight. You know, she heard about the newest team in Seattle, and she's like, I'm going to be a fan of the Kraken. And we're like, all right, let's go to the Stars and Kraken game. So
yeah,
that's the
cheer
game
for
that
the
we went
Kraken
to.
like any other time. Not when they play the Stars.
No,
like
no.
We're Stars homers.
Yes,
but,
yes, of course.
Yeah, and go out and hang out in front of the AAC beforehand too, because there's just a bunch of stuff. You'll see Victory
yes.
Green out there and everything. Have a blast, man. You'll
Go
enjoy
have
it.
dinner before.
And we know Daniel Sanchez has plenty of green gear from being a North Texas fan. So
Yes. I love
Rep.
it. Rep. Aaron Flynn asked, how did y'all enjoy your first soccer game? We went to an FC Dallas game first time last Saturday. And man, I am not too into soccer. I'm getting there. But that was freaking cool.
Dude,
that
it
was
was so
really
much
awesome.
fun. Like
I loved that.
it was just a blast. So we went with Ish and our friend that most of y'all probably who are watching this know, but we went with Goof and Ish, and they're big soccer people. Like, Ish is definitely peak soccer fan.
Yes.
And he's done a really good job of kind of like teaching us along the way. But it was just a blast. The experience is great. And we actually sat closest to the Houston Dynamo side, which was the opposing team. We were there as FC Dallas fans, just because we've kind of just been adopted into that since we live up here. But it was, the whole time, the drums going the whole
drums.
time.
That's
like,
insane.
The chants going the whole time. Like, that's you want to talk about a good atmosphere that it never, and that's what's so crazy is it was 1-0 until about the 86th minute, which for those of you that aren't soccer fans, there's only 90 minutes in regulation and then extra time after that. So for being something that it takes so long to score, like the energy is just impeccable because it could get boring if the energy wasn't up like
if it was like 0-0 the whole time. And I thought it was super cool that so the entire fan section was filled for the Houston Dynamo side, and not a single person sat down the entire until about the 86th minute, probably just because they were down and stuff. But like that was unbelievable. Yeah, they traveled, they brought drums, none of them sat down. Like that's a fan base that is unlike any other. I feel like soccer fan bases are pretty elite.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like you think about basketball. There is constantly there is action always happening while the game clock is going. And yes, you could technically go 6 minutes without anyone scoring a bucket, but there's still action like always going. It's like
it's not like baseball where it's super slow most of the time.
Yeah, but it's like with soccer, there are times you can draw 0-0. There can be legitimately no like real action happening.
I guess that's true, yeah.
And it's still just a blast. But I feel like hockey does a really good job of that too. Crowds are really good. Baseball's just baseball's a different animal. It's just a calm sport most of the time. But hockey and soccer are very familiar in that where there's not a whole lot of scoring per se.
Yeah.
But the fans make it that like you have to pick up the energy yourself because it could get to the point where you're at midfield for 45 minutes straight and it's like, what are we doing?
What do we do now? Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, it was a blast.
Yeah, very fun. Let's go. Goof responded to our tweet on Twitter. He wanted Ish and I to have a Suns and Mavs debate. Ish is not here, so I can just say the Suns suck. Go Mavs, MFFL. He's not here to dispute that, so I don't know what else to say. Like,
you know how much I hate siding with Ish on literally anything.
But you're going to, and
go Suns.
I know it makes me really sad, but
Devin Booker fist bump a baby. That was awesome.
Luka argues with babies, so that's even better.
Luka would argue with a brick wall.
I know.
There could be a dead fly laying on the table, and he'd be like, "Come on, that's a foul."
I know. I am excited to see Luka and Devin Booker, though, go head-to-head. I think that'll be super interesting and super fun.
It'll be a great series, and what I am very excited about is the fact that we know a diehard Suns fan. Like, that to me,
exactly.
especially because, who wins out of this? It's me. I win out of this because realistically speaking, I don't have any true rooting interest on either of these two teams winning. But I get to see literally my closest friends going at each other's throats, and I don't have to worry about it. I can just sit back and enjoy every second of it. And so it is fun. Like if they would have been playing the Pels, we would have had a rooting interest too because Aaron and Will and all that. But it's nice when you don't have a rooting interest, but you get to see people that you really care about going at each other. So I am pumped for this. I really am.
And a fun fact for all you Dallas sports fans, next week there will be a playoff either Mavs game or Stars game on every single night. So my heart is going to be I'm probably going to be very tired. I'm very tired today because we had a 9 p.m. tip last night, which is, I don't like that. But I'm going to be very tired next week. So
that's a lot.
That'll be fun.
Man, think about here's the true crazy thing. Like, think about the workers. So, for anyone who's listening to this that doesn't live up in the DFW, the Stars and the Mavs play at the same arena. They play at the American Airlines Center in Dallas.
Good point.
So, there are times, and they didn't do one this year, but there are times where they will have a doubleheader throughout and this is regular season, this isn't playoffs, but they will legitimately have most of the time a Mavs game in the morning. They'll take off the court and then they'll put the Stars ice on and they'll play that night. They usually do it once a year. They'll schedule a doubleheader on purpose and people will go to it.
Right.
But that'll be a lot for those AAC workers this week, having playoff games every single night. Like obviously some of them won't be on the road and stuff, but still that's
I would love to see that process. The actual like the ice going away.
Time lapses of it.
Yeah, I think the Detroit Red Wings and Pistons do that too.
Mm-hmm.
I think they play in the same arena, but I would just love to sit in and watch that. Thick in, thick out, like the whole process.
Yeah,
just because I think that's super interesting.
You got to think about it too. It's not only putting down the ice, which it's just a process that I would be interested to see. I've actually come to think of it, I've never seen how they put down ice.
Really? Not even like at your time at Ballot or your intern with the Stars or whatever? Yeah.
No.
Huh.
But they also around the ice, then they have to put up all the actual stuff. That's a big switch.
That is a big job.
Yeah, it'll be a big upcoming week for Dallas. Yeah.
I'm excited.
for Mallory. Only Mallory.
Do you want an ender?
Yeah, let's go an ender.
What is the most misspoken idiom that annoys you? I got one if you don't have one yet.
Have to think about that.
A common one is the what was the example that I don't remember who asked it. Mine is I just forgot it. Year and year. What is it?
Man, this is going great.
I couldn't even.
I think. Okay, let's see. Who asked this?
It was like
Tony Blaylock says his is I could care less when it's actually I couldn't care less. That makes sense.
That's a good one.
That was a good one.
I can't remember what mine was. It was like, oh, got it. It was, we'll play it by ear. If you're talking about like making plans or something, you don't want to make them too far advanced. A lot of people will say, yeah, we'll just play it by ear. I've also heard people say, we'll play it by year, like year, Y-E-A-R.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
why? It's tomorrow.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think that one kind of gets on my nerves a little bit. It's ear instead of year if you say that. So I don't like that.
I'm debating as to whether or not I want to say this, but I'm going to go ahead and say
Just do it.
This is just me growing up in Llano, and I really hope that no one else is watching this show right now. Y'all all have to promise to never bring this up again, especially not to Tepper. This what happens here stays between us, okay? We're in the trust circle. So, read it and weep, like the phrase. I don't even know if that's considered an idiom, to be honest, but read it and weep.
Okay, I think I've heard that before.
And weep.
Okay.
So like, if we're doing some sort of competition and I go, yeah, read it and weep. Growing up in Llano,
jeez.
I don't know why. It doesn't make sense now that I know what the actual phrase is, but I always thought that it was.
Oh boy.
I always thought it was read it in wheat.
That's a Llano thing.
It makes no sense, and I don't know why.
No, I've never heard that phrase before, and wheat doesn't make sense. So even if I didn't, okay, well, that's a Llano thing. That is definitely a Llano thing.
I just never thought about it because I was just like, all right, that's what it is. Read it in wheat, like not in white bread. You're reading it in wheat. So anyway, that was the moment that I came up here and realized that I had been saying that wrong for my entire life, and I really just never thought about it because I was like, that's just it. That's the phrase.
Okay.
Yeah. That was an ender.
Okay. Well, I did forget about the uniforms one. Somebody did ask.
This was a really good question.
Right. Okay, somebody did ask.
Yeah. Let's end on a better note than my idiocracy.
Let's. Somebody asked, give your top 3 best football uniforms in the state of Texas. Now you did college, and I just put down a couple of high school ones.
And he said we couldn't use UNT.
We could not use UNT. So
which is tough, but fair.
Because UNT is obviously the best.
Yeah, and we did research before this because we did put out on Twitter that it was just going to be us two dorks doing this. I'm not going particular order here, but 3 of my favorite ones. I love the traditional UT orange top, white pants. I love that they've never changed it. They've stuck true. I think that it's a clean look, and I think it just brings
tradition.
Yeah, it just brings back brings back good memories
Yep.
for me of watching them growing up. So those will forever be one of my favorite uniforms. The SMU Dallas jerseys, if we want to talk about something that's new, they're outstanding. And we talked about this too when it comes to color schemes. Like red, white, and blue is really hard to mess up. But they found a way to really perfect it. I think the Triple D helmet is super cool when it's really shiny too. I think SMU is they're in their bag with uniforms right now. And then I love the Texas Tech all black uniforms.
You can't beat the honestly anything all black. You can't.
Yeah, to be honest, I mean and I said that. I mean, I know we're not allowed to talk about North Texas, but the North Texas all blacks are great too.
They're so
But
clean.
I
with
just
the mean
think,
green.
yeah, when you have that. But I think the thing that I love about it with Tech, maybe even more than the mean green all black ones, sometimes it's a little bit hard with the mean green, like the color shade of green that we have to really make it pop. They do lighten it a little bit on those.
Yeah.
But the Texas Tech, I mean, the red sticks out and it's very bright.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The
Those are good ones.
TCU all black uniforms with like the red things need to go. Those need to be buried. They need to be burned. They need to go. Those are the worst ones. TCU has good uniforms. I'm not saying that I don't like their traditional
Their
purple
black
ones are great. They're
without
black
the
ones.
red.
Yes, the red. They
What's
should
up with the
never use red.
I don't understand that.
Horned frogs. They're trying to go. Horned frogs shoot blood out of their eyes, so that's kind of the purpose that they were.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't know that.
I had no idea.
We're learning. This is an educational
We need to pull up
podcast.
a video and put it on the show or something. That is so freaking cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's where they were going with the red. They wanted it to be a slight
that
accent
makes
mark.
more sense.
It doesn't work.
Right. With the purple.
But yeah, so I'll go the burnt orange with the white pants, the SMU Dallas jerseys, and then the Texas Tech all black. I think those are peak. Especially they typically wear those at Jones Stadium at night, and that's just I love that stadium.
Yeah.
So I think it just adds to it.
I did a couple high school ones. Now, of course, I don't know all of the 1,400 high school uniforms.
Shame on you.
Yeah.
Fired.
Sheesh.
Trash.
Gosh. And you work in high school football? Like, wow. Okay.
Could have fooled me.
Here are the ones that came to my mind. One of them I kind of looked up because I thought it was kind of cool. We love the Denton Geyers all black uniforms with the silver. Arlington Martin has the same ones, but I
Clean.
just love the silver shiny too. I think Martin actually has a little bit of glitter added to theirs.
Yeah.
Which sounds kind of weird, but when you look at it,
It's nice.
under the lights,
Yeah.
it just sparkles. Man, those really catch your eye. I also love the China Spring baby blue.
Mm-hmm.
I love baby blue, and I love that their color is baby blue. And when it's just, and they've got like the big numbers on the front of their jerseys too, so it just looks so clean.
Yeah.
I love that. And then my last one, Leander Glenn. They've got
Okay.
all white uniforms.
Stormtrooper look.
And it just says Grizz on the top right here, and I was like, "Yep, that's it right there." I love that. I'm a Grizzlies fan, a Memphis Grizzlies fan, so that right there, I was like,
I like that.
I like that uniform.
The
So those are some of my favorites.
Yeah, and that's a pretty typical thing in college football too. The Stormtrooper, the all white Stormtrooper looks typically
So
work
good.
with just about anything.
Yep.
I always like the all black. And the all white are just kind of the same thing. There are certain uniforms where I feel like any all color uniforms other than white and black, I'm always like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm not saying that they're ugly. They're just not. It doesn't
Right.
like, ooh, those are nice.
Right.
You know.
Right. Yep.
So
That's it.
all right, that'll do it.
Yep.
That'll
do it.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.